gosh, that still violates the probation in Idaho. So I have federal marshals in a van trying to extradite me from California, an active duty SEAL, illegally, because they said I had a warrant, which I took care of. So I have 2 lawyers talking. My girlfriend at the time was an attorney. So they're talking to all these people, bro. I got attorneys calling it was an absolute connecting with the governor of California and all this because they're trying to do legal shit. It's like a trail of emails and people have been done f***ed up things. And so they were trying to protect their ass. And
oh my God.
So I go to talk to, we get it all figured out, right? I get it all figured out. Then I pitch to my attorney. I go, dude, can I just get off probation in there and serve more time? I already know I'm fucked. And he goes, they pitched it. They accepted it. So I go back up to Idaho, serve more time, same place. A year later to the day, I'm back in that same pod, in that same jail, but now I'm on the way out, right? Now I know I'm on the way.
How much time?
I do another 3 weeks. So,
3 weeks to get rid of 4 years probation.
Boom.
I'll take that deal.
I took it in a minute. Because the judge was like, my attorney goes, can't we just have him serve some time and get this guy off our books, judge? And the judge is like, yeah, fuck it. So it actually, surprisingly enough, I walked out of jail. Now I signed my DD-214. I'm out. I took a general discharge, right? Because I didn't actually get kicked out for that. Because technically I still didn't commit a bad enough crime to get kicked out. What kicked me out was I failed a steroid test.
In the middle of all this.
So Navy JAG saw this and they saw I'm getting out of this again. They're like, this fucking guy. They're like, fuck this guy. NCIS and Navy JAG, they teamed up and they're like, dude, we're fucking gonna grill this dude. So they threw the book at me, hit me with every drug test in the book, passed.
Except steroids.
No, then they go, we're going to fucking steroid test him, which is kind of unheard of at the time. No one had even getting steroid tested at that time. But you can't just test for steroids. They sent it and paid thousands of dollars to send it to the UCLA Olympic Testing Center. So they fucking spent all this money and I failed, lit that motherfucker up.
How long have you been taking steroids?
Probably like, man, a couple years. I really wasn't. So it wasn't like going through all the selections. Never took anything. Never. Because you can't be big, man. I was like, but after, so maybe like a year. Like a year.
You know what's crazy though? Like it is a drug, and like you're supposed to get this whole system and everything. Yeah. But at the same time, this isn't fucking baseball, right? Like,
yeah, you're not.
You guys are warriors where you have to go out and kill people. Like, if my Navy SEALs are taking steroids, I'm not upset about that.
You know, it was what I knew it was. I knew it was, and this is what they asked me in the board. And I'm always pretty good in boards because I'm like, I'll take it on. I'll fucking own it. Like, I don't try to get away. I go, yep. They go. What would you say? I said, well, if you're willing to fucking risk everything, then fucking do it, right? For me, it was important enough. I'll do it. I probably would have done it again. Right. That's the truth, man. But all the dumb extra shit I was doing, that wasn't smart. And I brought all the heat on myself. I'm no victim. I had that. And I had that moment where I had a fake dick in my locker.
A fake dick.
Yeah. I had a fake dick to like take a piss. And I was like,
oh,
you know,
not
like that. Yeah. Ding, ding. You're like, where's this going, man? You're like, where's this going, bro?
What did they had a name for that? The Whizzinator?
The Whizzinator. I had a Whizzinator, bro. And fucking, and I looked at it and I had this moment where, dude, and I was in the dumps, bro, at this time. It
wasn't a black one, was it?
No.
All right.
No, I church it up a little bit. Foot long black dick. They're like, what the fuck? They're like, this guy don't give a fuck.
I'm biracial.
This guy don't give a fuck. I'm black from the waist down, man. You know? And you know what? I put it away and I went, fuck it. Let's do it. Let's rock and roll. And I just had this, like, let's charge the machine gun nest moment where I was like, dude, I've earned this. Let's rock and roll. And I did, man. And failed. Failed that motherfucker hard. And you know what? That was it. And so I got another attorney. So now I have 3 attorneys while I'm still fighting this case. So I'm fighting the Idaho case, civil and criminal. I'm fighting San Diego, and I have a military attorney. So I'm just fucking poking holes in the bucket.
So do you fail this before you do that 3 weeks?
Yeah. This was at the very beginning. This was like in the first 3 weeks. So all this was kind of happening. Now I start prepping a job on the outside. I know I'm getting out. So I prepped a pretty good fucking situation. Had prepped residential real estate development supervisor position with the largest private residential developer in the United States on the largest project in the United States. So I had fucking like used my contacts well. I've always been very good about maintaining relationships. And you know what? So I felt okay I went to jail and I was getting out happy, man. Cause I was going, DD 214. I was done with the military. I mean, I had no reserve time, nothing. I was done.
Is it dishonorable discharge though?
General. I took a general. That was the deal because I had a good attorney. And they said, hey, if you just admit to the steroid thing, we're going to give you, because they tried to give me an OTH. Actually, they're going to give me an OTH. But the commanding officer of SEAL Team 7 said, this guy doesn't deserve an OTH, man. He's 2
deployments.
He's got the power to cap it up 1. Yeah. That was a bro move. I fucking love that dude for that. It really helped me.
You had a lot of people look out for you.
Yeah, man, I have. And I didn't help anybody out, by some of my decisions. And this is what I feel like I owe people now, is like to fucking be an example now, because of all that time. Right. Of all that time, I really just kind of pissed away, got people standing up for me. So, well, let me tell you, I had some karmic debt to burn, and I earned it later on, because I got out. Now I'm out of the military. So now I just started doing Adderall, Xanax, smoking weed while working and being very successful.
What year is this?
This was 2017.
So you run right to like all these substances that you weren't doing at all.
No, no, not at all, because I'm like, I just started doing Adderall, and then because I'm like, oh, I get a lot of shit done with this, and I had done it when I was in high school and shit. I had that when in high school and shit. So I knew it, but I was like, okay, I was rocking and rolling, just super efficient. But then, you're fucking a little bit wired. So now I'm drinking, right, at night. And then I'm doing Xanax at night, right? So it's like that imbalance. And then I'm like, oh, fucking. So then I'm just off balance but still working, still being successful.
Do you think you were like, I understand, okay, I get more done on Adderall, so that's how it starts. And then it starts a spigot and it throws your system off. So you start trying to balance it out and everything. But do you think part of it was, all this shit happens so fast, and you're like, yes, I'll take that deal. I get the general discharge, whatever, we're good. All right, oh my God, I'm alive. I'm not in prison. We're good. But then you're like, your body's just like, whoa, now I got, there's no clear core charge. Like, what are you going to go do, fucking real estate? Yeah. After being in Yemen and Iraq and stuff and fighting court case, like you were constant adrenaline and now it's just zero.
Yeah, it was part of it was it just made me care fucking more, right? Get more fired up for it and care more. And I, I thought I was living a happy life. I thought I was happy, but looking back, I just wasn't. I had lost my disciplines too. I was, late to stuff. I was fucking not locked on, and I hadn't really established that self-worth through the daily work and the daily steps, which that's the part that I had to learn that was missing. So I was just kind of like doing what I thought and just not being smart. Now my relationship, is getting tense because I'm not good. Man, the fish stinks from the head. You're the leader of the relationship and you're fucking not good. Like it's just not, it's setting an unhealthy environment and big fights. And I was getting violent with people in my life, dude. I was fucking like a liability, bro. And then now this time is when I start linking up with some of the cats I showed you in that picture, right?
Before.
So the guy in that picture, we launched a marijuana distribution company. Right? The first year it was legal in California. So then I'm doing that. I leave that other job. It was a risk. So then we're doing this. Now it was chaotic, building it, whatever. Everybody gets fired, and the big venture capitalist boss sees what I had done, and he goes, "You're fucking staying now. I'm going to pay you. You fucking crushed it." So now I'm in a high rise, pitching decks for millions of dollars, raising millions of dollars, start building out facilities, meeting with congressmen, fucking doing all this shit.
Ripping Adderall and Xanax.
All that shit. And then I stacked fentanyl at night.
What?
For a year straight. Snorting fentanyl every fucking night.
How'd you get into that?
I went tits up like 3 fucking times, bro. The only thing that probably kept me alive is that I was on Adderall every fucking day. Is I was snorting fentanyl every fucking night for a year.
What
didn't miss a day.
Wait, what got you into fentanyl?
I just liked it, man. Like I just liked how it made me feel. Like
you just woke up one day and said, "I think I'll try
here's
this."
the thing, I wasn't partying, so I would. Here's my people like, "Oh, what are you doing, dude?" I would work all day. I'd get up at like 4 a.m, take Adderall, get kicking off, fucking cranking, because I was CEO of a fucking marijuana distribution company, man. I had to fucking make some shit.
This is what we do.
I was working my ass off, dude, right? And it wasn't even that. No, it was I had a lot of money involved, a responsibility. Fucking, I was the only one making shit happen, and there was a lot of hectic side stuff too in the business and the venture capitalist boss, and there was integration with like my relationship there, and there was like a lot of stuff going on around me, and I was also driving all over fucking California trying to make this shit happen. So it was stressful. But it wasn't the stress. It was just I liked how it made me feel. So I was doing all that all day. Then at night, I would go home and do emails and fucking reach out, snort fentanyl until like fucking midnight, then get up at fucking 4 and keep going every day for a fucking year. And you cannot maintain that for
Yeah, no shit.
And it came crashing down, quite literally. I fucking went down, fucking head smashed on I got a big ass scar across my forehead. And it was the straw that broke the camel's back. Like the venture capitalist boss had fucking heard about it. My girlfriend's fucking yelling. She finds me bleeding, bro.
He had heard you were doing fentanyl.
Well, they everybody thinks nobody knows, but people know. And so he sat me down and he goes, look, man, he goes, you were an asset, now you're a liability. That's what he said to me. And so but he was right. And
what year are we in now?
2019.
Okay.
So 2019, May, this is happening. And I'm sitting in this high rise and I go, okay, man, I got the fuck out of here. So I cleaned out my stuff. I said, all right. And I was pretty much just sent away to Big Island of Hawaii. I went to Big Island of Hawaii where we had some business ventures, like pretty much stay out there. Let's get this shit straight. And there was business stuff we had to coordinate and like before it comes crashing out. So I decided I'm going to get off this shit, right? I'm going to fucking like try to get square. And bro, getting off that was, bro, and guys getting off withdrawals, if anybody's been dealing with this, I know it's like a big thing, bro, just power through. I was hurting, bro. I didn't sleep for a week. I didn't sleep a wink, and I had to take.
Did you go to rehab?
No, I just fucking was like.
You just did this yourself.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm just gonna hammer.
You savage.
Well, I'm gonna hammer through this, and it wasn't smooth because I was still doing Adderall and like drinking and stuff. But I'm like, I need to get off the fentanyl, bro. Right, and so I had to get off, and it was just fentanyl. It was opioids and shit. But if I could get fentanyl, I prefer that, right? Because I just thought it hit me fucking harder. So and that was the truth, man. I was just fucking soulless at this point, like hurting, bro, no purpose. Now my world's like, now I have nowhere to point and lie about, right? The girl's gone, the job's gone, the money's gone, the fucking title's gone.
You're alone in Hawaii.
And I'm alone, and now the money's gone, right? So now I'm fucking homeless in my truck, fucking in the jungle, bro.
How many months?
It's like 3 months. It's like 3 months, right? And I thought a job was gonna come, and it was kind of like put out there, but I was pretty much just left out on an island to fucking like, and with kind of told some shit and it just wasn't going to come. It wasn't going to, I don't think anybody was ever going to come. But
it took only a week for you to kick it though.
Yeah, like about, a week and some change. But
you're throwing up like crazy and shit.
It wasn't the throwing up for me. I just couldn't sleep, man. And I was starting to swell up, through a hell week. You know what sleep deprivation does. Yeah. I started hallucinating and I went to the urgent care. I'm like, look, man, I'm a former Navy SEAL. I know what sleep. I'm like maxed out. Like I'm at 5 days here, and I'm like, do anything for me. They gave me some Ambien. Nothing narcotic. It was fine though. That was all I wanted. They hit me with Benadryl. It didn't touch me. I had to go back the next day. I'm like, I need something else. The Ambien at least helped. It got me at like a couple hours of sleep. That's all I needed, and I fucking felt so much better. And then from that point, I didn't really have a problem with it again. That was that. I cut it away. Wow. Also, change your location. It's very hard to get healthy in a place that made you sick, right? You also just have all the contacts. So just separating like that was so powerful because you don't have the people around you to fucking get the shit.
But that willpower to do that on your own, that's where you're built from something different. That's incredible.
Well, I think anybody could do it when especially if you set up your scenario. Now, it's not always possible. They're like, well, if you don't have the money to go out in the fucking woods in a tent, dude, right? Go fucking far away. Separate yourself. You don't have to have money to do it, right?
But there's also people who can die trying to do that.
Maybe,
because it's
right?
that strong.
Right? So I'm not a doctor. I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm saying maybe you could. I don't know about that. I think there's other things you could probably die more. I think with that stuff, I don't know though. For me, I know that it was important. I was going to die anyway, right? If I was to keep doing it, and my boy, Jimmy Watson, love you, Jimmy, who you actually should talk to.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
Fucking awesome. He goes, look, man, because he found his brother died of a, overdose one time. He goes, bro, you're right on that path, bro. He's
God.
And that was a heavy thing for you because he's a hardcore dude too. And
this before you went to Hawaii?
Yeah. Right before. And he goes, bro, you're on that path. And I'm like, fuck, dude, I am on that path. So long story short is I get off that. Then the money's gone. Now I always had the Foreign Legion as like a look red, grab red because
French Foreign Legion.
Oh yeah, because I knew about it as a kid. I don't know how, maybe just in my military studies and stuff I knew about it. Then when I was getting out of college and I fucking was, all the military branches were telling me no, I was like, maybe I'll have to go in the Foreign Legion. Oui, c'est ça. And so I go, okay, well, maybe I'll do that. But the truth was that was the last resort. Now, I had no more resorts left. So I was sitting in my truck. I had a sawed-off shotgun on my lap. I was going to blast myself. Dead serious.
You were thinking about that.
Oh, I was going to fucking do it, man.
But you're clean off drugs now.
Yeah, well, but it was just lack of purpose.
No money, no woman,
nothing.
no military.
Yeah, nothing. So I was sitting there and I had a sawed-off shotgun on my fucking lap and on the passenger seat, and I was sitting in the jungle for 3 straight days. And now I had nothing, right? And I'm sitting there. I would go little walks on the jungle. And it wasn't a question. I wasn't sad. And it wasn't me sitting and crying. It was I was like dead. I was just dead, right? And so that's when I knew it was dangerous. So I sat there, bro, and I call it that authentic voice of God again, was like, listen, you bitch. Pussy ass motherfucker. And I was like, damn, because when I was like, fuck, you're right. Because he was like, listen, think about your mom. Think about your sister. Think about who you leaving, man. You selfish motherfucker. What kept repeating to me was, play back your inner dialogue right now. You sound like a pussy. It's like me, why me, I. And it was exactly that. I was sitting in my own. Depression's a luxury. It really is. If you fucking just sit and fucking think about yourself, man, you're not trying to chug water on your head and like fucking, it's a luxury to sit there and fucking dwell on yourself like that. Yeah. So I had a moment. I went, fuck this. I'm going to the French Foreign Legion. We're doing this thing.
You're sitting in the car with a shotgun and you're like, I'm going to the French
I'm putting this thing down. I'm going to fucking, if I'm going to die, I'm going to do it with my boots on. So I was like, let's fucking rock and roll. Now I took out a couple fast cash loans and then fucking, I was in France 8 days later.
Holy
shit. That's as fucking hard as I made it. But the minute I made that decision, bro, I felt better. It was like a weight was lifted off me.
You needed to think.
I needed also to think. Like people will say stuff like, don't isolate. Sometimes you need to isolate to clear out the noise. Like I needed to get the fuck away from people and sit there in my little pity party for a few days. And then to get clear on what the fuck I need to do. But then move, right? Then take action.
The ambiance of that is pretty wild, though. Like, you're thinking about the worst thing. You're thinking about potentially killing yourself, but you're in your truck that you live in Hawaii, which is a beautiful place, in the middle of the jungle, listening to nature, getting in touch with yourself. You're off drugs now. Yeah. So that's a good thing. Yeah. And you're like, holy shit. All these, like, you're the guy that had, somehow you're running through the trail of IEDs and somehow your foot misses every IED and you're finally like halfway stepped on one, so you're in medical, but you're still not dead. And now you're like, it's almost like you're saying to yourself, I got one more shot here. Yeah. And I'm going to go to the French Foreign Legion.
I'm going to take it. Because here's also a piece, man. I was like, man, I got to fucking do epic shit, man. I was like, I want to write, I want to live a powerful story. I want to pick up the pen and write a powerful story. And it had been a while since I had the story dictated to me, right? By just my circumstance and not living right. Right, going to the SEALs, I was picking up that pen and then kind of like losing and trying to do shit, but it wasn't like speaking to my soul. I'm like, all right, let's make another power move, right? The universe only respects drastic action, man. Drastic action only. Whole ass, no half-ass shit. That's what gets results. So I said, okay, let's rock and roll. And that's what I did, man. And I still had the Adderall to clear out of my system and stuff and weed, So I knew they were going to drug test me, right? So I go, okay, I'm going to fly to France. I'm going to give myself a week. I know exactly how I can flush. I'm going to just pound water, run, brush up on my French, fucking go, bro.
Did you speak any French?
No.
So you fly to France. Like how soon? Shotgun on the
8 days.
8 days later.
Yeah, 8 days. 8 days. Dropped my truck off, dropped my shit off, and said, I'll be back.
Did you tell your parents?
So I told my mom, I told my dad, I told nobody else, not a soul.
Okay. What'd they say at this point?
My mom was like, okay. She knows how I rock and roll, but she also knew in her heart it was probably the smart decision, right?
Did she know about all the drug stuff?
Well, yeah, because she didn't know all of it, but I told my mom, when I called my mom on that third day, I said, Mom, I'm at rock bottom, but I'm okay. That's what I said to her, verbatim. I said, I'm at rock bottom, I'm okay. I'm parked in my truck in the jungle. I got a plan. She's like, what? But my mom knows, like, And it's great now because things are just amazing. But she's like, that was scary. But I knew you were in a bad spot, but I love to hear you like, okay, I have a fucking trajectory here. I have a goalpost. So I said it, man. And I fucking showed up, and that was, man, I felt touching down in France from Hawaii, bro. It was pouring rain, October 2019.
Where'd you fly into?
Paris. Because I was going, there's 2 places to check in. Now, the French Foreign Legion, people don't know, is a almost 200-year-old institution comprised of almost all foreigners, and they've fought in almost every war since Algeria to fucking Iraq and Afghanistan.
So fascinating.
And they're comprised of just foreigners. It's modeled after the old Roman legions in that you serve your time and then you can earn citizenship of the country. That's the whole carrot.
All right, let's pause there real fast. We're gonna get deep into this.
Yeah,
I gotta take a piss.
Cool.
I know Murph over here struggling.
Yeah, let's do it.
So we'll be right back.
Perfect.
Real quick, before we get deep in this French Foreign Legion, we were talking about just off camera something else. One of your buddies or something, and you said you knew John McAfee.
Yeah.
How'd you know the billionaire John McAfee?
So I won't get into
didn't kill himself.
Yeah. So I went. So it happened. I did. He's got a nephew who's a team guy, and so I did multiple platoons with him. Yeah, and so, but by chance, I'm in the Vegas Centurion Lounge with a couple chicks, and who walks up to me is John McAfee,
of course,
and he goes, "Hey, what are you doing?" And just by himself, he goes, "I don't usually walk around with my security." He goes, "My son's, my nephew's a team guy." I go, "Hey, well," I go, just by chance, I'm in his platoon, right? And so I fucking, long story short, I get out, that guy calls me and goes, "Hey, my uncle," so I had met John McAfee. We exchanged information or whatever. A year later, I'm kicked out of the teams, and a year and some change later, and so that guy knows, and he goes, "Hey, my uncle's looking for somebody," and he already knows me by name, and he goes, "Is looking for somebody to be his personal security detail."
Oh my God.
So he goes, "My green," so then he's having some problem with his security, this and that. So I go, "Okay, well, tell him to call me." I get a call from John McAfee, and he goes, "Hello, dude, you know who this is?" And I said, "Yeah, John, what's going on, man?" He goes, "Look, my Green Berets are compromised." He's fucking insane, dude. And I go, "Yeah, what's up?" He goes, "I need you here in a week." And I go, "Dude, I can't do it. I had already won in the job. I have a girlfriend and this and that." So I go, "Dude, I can't do it." I go, "But my buddy, who I just talked to you about, had just got kicked out the same time I did." Right?
Oh, he got kicked out too.
Well, he got pushed forced medically retired. Right? He fought it until the very bitter end. 17 and a half years, and he pushed him out.
You sent him there.
So I go, John, "Hey, I got a guy, probably the most qualified fucking dude ever, and he's a great human being." I said, "Yeah, I got a guy for you." So he called him. John McAfee calls me back, this and that. They do play phone tag. I hit John back up to hit him up, and next thing you know, my buddy goes out there with him. Comes to find out, John loves this dude so much, he ends up making him head of security. Then he ends up making him CEO of Team McAfee. So then they got all involved in the crypto stuff. So my buddy's CEO of the fucking crypto company with John for a year and a hat and some change, making tons of money, doing all this stuff. And so that's why he ended up getting wrapped up in that.
Is this when John's on the run? Try and put it together.
They split ways right when he goes on the boat and goes on the run. So he was traveling around with John for all over, bro. He in the documentary with him chasing him. My buddy's in that documentary.
Oh, he's in that.
Yeah,
I've seen that.
Yeah, he's in it. Yeah, he's the one with the beard and holding the gun and whatever. That's him. And so he's that whole time, and they had a breaking up and like it was tumultuous, right? Because he'll go into that story, but it's a wild story, bro.
All right, yeah, we got it. That's a great suggestion. Yeah. We will definitely talk. You have some good suggestions off camera with guys, so we'll definitely talk to him. But anyway, back to you then. Yeah. So you land in France after 8 days after Shotgun in the Jungle. Yeah. And you said you went for runs and stuff for like a week or something to get your system clean and get everything checked out. And now, how do you join the French Foreign Legion?
Man, I was running up to the Sacré-Cœur and Sacré-Cœur. And I just looked up at the gargoyles, man, and I said a prayer, bro. I was like, "Look out for me, man. We're doing this." And I just kind of in that state where I was smoking cigarettes, standing on the corner in this Parisian. I had no money left. I was staying in a hostel, like fucking sharing a bunk with this rugby player who was there, and I just was still sipping on vodka the night before I went in just to take the edge off, bro, because I was hurting emotionally. And I didn't even know I had built up such habit. It's just I was just like, oh, you kind of just do that, And floating, rudderless, but I knew where I was heading finally. At least I had a direction, but I was still like, fuck, man, I fucked my life up. That feeling. I was still like, damn, dude, I'm just burning in here. But I sent a nice letter to my mom and dad. I said, hey, I organized my administrative affairs and like financial stuff and all that. And I said, okay, here, I'm going in. And I said, man, I'm afraid to make it. I'm afraid to get kicked out, not get taken. But I'm also afraid to make it. Like what my life's going to look like either direction.
What about your criminal record with them? Were you thinking about that being a problem?
Well, I didn't know, right? But I know they take credit. It was kind of built for the French Foreign Legion's kind of built for that. They taken that's what they're kind of taking guys with checkered backgrounds and all that stuff. That was what kind of their bread and butter was, their reputation. For a lot of years, they used to take murderers and criminals and guys, and so that was like their thing.
Nice.
And well, that was the aura of them, And still now, to get into it, I mean, dude, guys, you get faces blasted with tattoos, dudes getting checked in, right? For coming out of gulags from fucking some dark hole in Russia. Hardcore motherfuckers, dude. So, but I didn't know what I was walking into because I had read some books. I had done some research. Man, there's like a hardcore reputation of hazing. Dudes dying in Djibouti, getting buried up to the fucking sand and dying. Nice. So I had some fear just in the unknown. But I had painted myself in a proverbial corner. I'm like, this is all I got. This is the epic story. I've never heard of a Navy SEAL being a Legionnaire. Let's rock and roll.
Oh, you said you were saying a prayer at one part. Are you were you a religious guy?
I'm not religious, but I have a very solid connection with the higher power, with God, if you want to call it, man. I always felt like there's this guiding force. I always felt like there's this guiding force, this orchestrating force, and I know it when I'm on a line path, and I know I stack karmic debt and get reprimanded heavily when I'm off of it. So I just started, and everybody's got that authentic voice, right? Call it whatever you want, universal, whatever. You know a good decision when you make it. You don't have to negotiate a beautiful decision. That's what I always say. Getting up, working out, thinking right, acting right, shit's right. Then you know when you need to, maybe I'll just fucking do this weird shit. It's like, everybody knows.
100%. But it's also crazy how like I can relate this to my own life. I'm sure people listening can relate this to theirs. Like you can get away from that voice. Yeah. And it's not because it's not there. It's because you just consciously ignore it. Yeah. And then suddenly, it's like, you want to call it the universe, you want to call it your gut. I say it's a combination of both. Yeah. It's like, what are you doing, motherfucker? Yeah. And you're like, damn it, you were saying that the whole time. I still did all this shit. But now let's get it right. You really start tapping into a different energy and the universe starts working for you when you listen to that voice 100%. That's what changed my life, when you go full tilt on just doing the right shit. So that voice was telling me to go fucking bang on this door. Bang on the door. So there's only one way to do this shit. It's some Old Testament shit, bro. You go with one bag, and your fucking passport, and you go knock on a big ass iron gate, dude, like fucking Wizard of Oz. Can we pull up the French Foreign Legion? This is the one in Paris? Yeah. Fort Nogent Gate. Fort Nogent Gate. Let's see what this looks like. So you just go up with your shit. Yeah, bro. You got the drugs out of your system now. Yeah, and I got just civilian clothes, and you just go knock on it, and a guy with a green beret, Legionnaire with a gun, will open the fucking door like, Wizard of Oz, bro. Like, what are you doing here? And you go, Je suis ici pour la Légion. Fucking boom. And that's it. And they take your passport, and they tell you to get up on the fucking pull-up bar. They take your passport. And I didn't see that passport again for 3 years. Wait. So they... all right, yeah, we'll get into it back. So... How do you spell the gate? Oh, yeah, how do you spell the gate? Fort, Nogent. Nogent. Yeah. All right, I want to see this real quick before we go. I want to visualize So it's an old medieval... You'll see an old medieval castle. And, dude, it's just in, like, this residential area. It's on the eastern outskirts of Paris. There it is. That's it? Yeah, that's it, bro. On the money, Murph. The Legion Étrangère. All right, let's click one of them to make it bigger. Maybe the second one right there. Yeah. That's it. Fort Nogent, Legion Étrangère, Foreign Legion. So wait, it's like it's an actual, so there's grass up top. And then that's a big ass bunker. It's a big ass military. It's a military base. Is there a roof out there? Or is it? It's a center courtyard. It's like an old castle. Yeah. Okay. So that separates. It's a small little like guardhouse. Then there's a huge courtyard in the middle, and then in the back is all the barracks rooms. Understood. Okay, so you knock on this, je play Je suis ici pour la Légion. Okay. And I Googled it right before I went there. So I have my DD-214. They were going to know I was a SEAL, right? I was going to let them know who I was a SEAL. And do you have the teeth? Not yet. Okay. So I knock on the gate.
He takes my passport and he tells me to sit down. And the process, then you start your process. And so this process is interesting because there's no application. You're coming in from fucking all over the world, guys from all over the earth. They need to figure out who the fuck you are, right? That's the known evil's better than the unknown evil, right? They don't. So you go in, they give you an IQ test. First, it's pull-up bar. So that was the first fucking thing. And I came in on a Sunday night, Hunter's full moon, it's 2019, October. Sunday night, it was raining. And I like making my shit poetic as fuck.
You're good at that.
I like to make my shit powerful. So I go in, get up on the pull-up bar, and I fucking cranked him out. He goes, get down, right? Descend. And he had a Russian accent. He a Ukrainian dude. A lot of Eastern Bloc guys.
In the Legion.
Yeah, a lot. So when Ukraine kicked off, shit was interesting for us. So then the IQ test, preliminary IQ test, very basic, fucking math and 5 questions, and then it was wait. So now you're in this waiting game with guys from all over the world in this small ass barracks room, probably 20, 30 guys in this one room, then 20, 30 guys in another room. And that was it. And so we start the next morning. I'm up getting my the whistle's going off and I'm rolling my sheet back up. And that was the moment where I went, fuck, dude, I'm like back in this shark shit on the bottom of the ocean, former Navy SEAL doing halos, and now I'm fucking rolling my sheets back up.
You're at a 0.
34 years old.
Oh my God.
34, bro. So
how old's the average person coming in there?
So they take anybody 17 and a half to 39 and a half.
But like so who usually comes in?
30s.
Okay.
But they have young, you have the whole spread, really. You really have the whole fucking spread,
Meaning you're not the only 34-year-old there, though.
No, there was guys older than me, too.
Yeah.
So I was fucking done with the bullshit, right? The fuck games. But you got to do what you got to do. So I'm rolling up my sheet, doing my fucking thing. There's, in that room specifically, 2 South Africans, 1 Mongolian, 1 guy from Thailand, 2 from Ukraine, 1 from Belarus, 1 from Lithuania, 1 from Chad, Ghana, and Nepal.
Just how many of them spoke English?
Probably like, the South African and the Nepali guy and then the Lithuanian. That was it.
Oh my God.
So it's an interesting room to be in, and that's how the Foreign Legion is. 150 nations represented in the Foreign Legion.
Wow.
There's only 2 countries you can't join from. It's North Korea and Cuba, I think, still.
Can we actually pull up just the basic Wikipedia page of the French Foreign Legion? I'm just so fascinated.
It's very interesting. It's fucking unique as shit.
The history, though, and what it's based off of is so cool to me.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, let's pull that up.
And so it's a real geopolitical petri dish.
Hit Wikipedia. Yep. Love it. All right, French Foreign Legion. Let's just read this to people. French Foreign Legion is an elite corps of the French Army that consists of several specialties: infantry, cavalry, engineers, and airborne troops. It was created in 1831 to allow foreign nationals into the French Army. It formed, so that's right after Napoleon, I think, right? Yeah. It formed part of the Armée d'Afrique, the French Army's units associated with France's colonial project in North Africa until the end of the Algerian War in 1962. Legionnaires are highly trained soldiers, and the Legion is unique in that it is open to foreign recruits willing to serve in the French Armed Forces. The Legion is known today as a unit whose training focuses on traditional military skills and on its strong esprit de corps, as its men come from different countries with different cultures. Consequently, training is often described as not only physically challenging, but also very stressful psychologically. Legionnaires may apply for French citizenship after 3 years of service or immediately after being wounded during a battle for France under a provision known as Français per Saint Laverse. How many? 9,000 soldiers is the size. That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah.
So, okay. So you're in there in this room
spread all over the world too. So they're in Africa. A lot of people don't know 26 countries in Africa speak French. French are strong in Africa, right? And so they're deployed in like 5-6 countries in Africa now. Tahiti, New Caledonia, South America. They got them all over, man. South America, and which I was doing jungle ops with them down there, and
we'll get there.
Yeah, and so that was they're all over, bro. And now they're in Ukraine.
Wow.
They're in Romania, and so I was in Estonia with them.
The bases, do they have other soldiers there too that aren't just legionnaires?
Some are French Army.
Okay,
so
you mix in,
you'll mix in with French Army. But the real bases are all in southern France. You got on the island of Corsica, where Napoleon's from, actually.
That's beautiful.
So island of Corsica, and
Nice?
that's and not Nice, but along Montpellier. Okay. And in South France, where I was at, was actually in the mountain regiment, so it's a little bit more north.
Very cool. So
Marseille.
you're in this room with all these guys from all these different countries. You're starting at day one.
Yeah,
in your bed.
And so here was kind of my thing. I saw a lot of young guys that didn't know what the fuck they were getting themselves into. There was that. Then there was some of the hard nose, right? Like I was in there with a Lithuanian who I actually still Belarusian who I actually still FaceTime with, who's fighting in Ukraine now.
Whoa.
And he was an officer in the Belarusian special force unit. But so why these guys are there are three types.
Yeah.
It's important to know who is joining. It's the romantic, who's long lost love and fucking that guy gets crushed fucking quick, and he gets wet out pretty fast. You have the machine of war, machine de guerre, the guys who are fucking in it to fucking get after it, and in their home countries they don't deploy, right? So you have, or their armies pay nothing, right? Like the special force guy I knew who was in Belarus, he was an officer in their top elite unit. He made $900 a month.
Whoa.
Right. So he would just going in regular Legion, it was already tripling his pay.
Oh, yeah, it's incredible.
So he was like, fuck. And then the conversion rate, like for the Brazilians and shit, dude, they're making it rain back home. Right. For us, it's not the same. It's like I'm taking a huge pay cut. So they're doing it. There's the financial guy too, and the guy that does it for passport, right? So that guy's it's pretty much the same guy.
What about the people who are like running away from trouble in their homeland, kind of like you?
Yeah, I would say that's kind of I guess there's kind of a fourth kind of category, and that's kind of like just resetting, which I kind of say that's kind of the machine of war guy, kind of seeking into but I see that's just trying to hit that hard reset, but I had military experience, and so that I figured that was the best place to go kind of take a big boy time out, as I like to say. And dude, I wanted to get my tattoos fucking finished, and I didn't want to be fucked with, and I couldn't get a regular job, dude, doing it. So I needed time, bro.
Oh, you didn't have all these tats then?
I didn't. No, I had most of my body, a lot of my body, but I needed to finish everything. I'm tatted head to toe, bro. Like gooch,
it's up your head,
ass, everything, bro, up to the balls, bro, all the way.
You're tatted on your ass.
Oh yeah, ass. Into the ass cheek, pretty much, bro. Like everywhere. So I the way you do anything is the way you do everything. I do shit thorough. So it took a lot of time, but I had a vision for my body. I knew I was broken down psychologically, and it was kind of a symptom of how my life was. I knew I wanted this, to build myself back up. Mentally also, like I needed time to think, man. I needed time to study, figure out what the fuck I was doing wrong. It just kept breaking my life to pieces. I was like, what I'm doing is not working. I need to fucking unlearn some shit and learn some new shit.
Yeah.
I had to like separate, man, and fucking get a tactical pause and be like, okay, what? And while doing it, I wanted to do something fucking respectable, right?
Yeah.
And interesting. And so I was like, maybe they'll give me a gun and I can deploy and start kind of while I'm doing this. And that's exactly what I got, man. I knew it was going to be hard. I knew it was going to be stripped down. And so the process is they do the medical screenings. They're really hard on the teeth. They're really hard on.
What do you mean?
They're like, if you got really fucked up teeth, the French don't want it because they don't want guys coming in, getting their teeth fixed, and then fucking leaving. Oh. That was a problem. So they don't want that. They don't want flat feet. If you have weird shaped head or fucking you're underweight or overweight, you're fucking out. So they do hardcore on BMIs. The physical stuff is obviously. Then the psychological evaluations are interesting. The fucking interviews are crazy, bro. They call it the Gestapo interviews. They call them the Gestapo interview. So there's the unit in the front during this process. After you pass pre-selection, they give you a fake name. So I got a fake name. Mine was Trent Clayson from New York City. That you have a fucking new name, new identity.
Why do they do that?
Fucking mandatory, bro. They just take your name, bro.
Trent Clayson.
They take your passport. You get a new name, a new fucking European social security number. Fucking everything, fake identity with a military ID. You can keep that name. Dudes can keep that name and get a French passport on that name if they want.
What?
It's a whole thing, bro.
That is sketchy.
If you wanted to reset your whole life, you can. You're gonna earn it though. You're gonna need at least 7 years to do that to get nationalized French, or get shot. One of the two. Or get shot. But you can keep that name, man, and then you are a new person.
But you didn't keep Trent Clayson.
I know you got to route additional paperwork to get your passport back after a couple years, and then get your real name back, and they give it all back.
So in the Legion,
but the first 2 years I was Trent Clayson.
You were called Trent by
nobody
people.
knew my first name. Nobody knows your real name.
They called you Trent.
They call me Trent.
That's nuts.
Clayson, yeah, I have fucking your name tabs, all your IDs, everything.
Did you get that tattooed on your body?
I have a French passport picture with Trent Clayson from New York City. Guess what? Because here's just by chance, I took this as a sign. They take your birthday, and then your new birth date is your birthday plus a month and a day. Oh. Mine happened to be New York City, September 11th.
Oh my!
Because I was born on August 10th. And so I looked at it and I was like, these fuckers fucking with me. But then I realized it was just part of this computer system.
That's so
I took it as a sign, man. But it was that. Then I got pre-selected. So now I'm pre-selected.
What do you mean?
So you go through pre-selection, then they send you down to the headquarter regiment down in Marseille, just out in Oban, where they go in-depth, harder on your IQ, on your physical, and then on the background. But now, and that's called selection.
Gestapo?
And that's Gestapo.
Okay.
And so that's a whole new process. And after that, you're going to get a contract and then get to attempt boot camp selection.
Right.
So that during the process of when they're going through selection and when they're like, who are you? Why the fuck is a Navy SEAL here?
Yeah, they probably. How often did they get a Navy SEAL? Never.
They've maybe gotten one. Nobody's ever made it or done it. So
you're the only one.
Yeah. So wow. I'm the only one ever. So they go, they don't want guys who are wanted for war crimes. They don't want problems with the United States government. There's like that whole piece. So they're trying to maneuver that.
And you got a hell of a color.
Yeah. And then I have like they're less worried about the criminal shit. That was like, whatever. They're like, oh, you hit a guy in a bar, who fucking cares? Right? They're like, fuck it. But so but they pulled it all up and they were asking me about it. But I said, look, man, they said, why are you here? I said, I ruined my fucking life. I need a second chance. And they said, all right, that's checks out. So I fucking told them what the deal was. I got kicked out and I fucking fucked up and I need help.
Take me to this room. What is this Gestapo look
So this
like?
is a special unit these are all high-ranking, high-caliber individuals. They all speak like 5 languages. They're all highly intelligent.
All members of the Legion.
All foreign legionnaires from every country, and you can imagine. And guys who had ranked up quick, right? They're relatively young for how high their rank is. So they're sharp. And it's in a secured building. They have the records from every Legionnaire from Legionnaire 1. It's crazy, bro, downstairs. It's the fucking files from the 1800s.
Wow.
Yeah, bro. Wild. And one of the first Legionnaires was actually from the United States. And from Colorado. Some fucking dude took a boat over there. Yeah, bro. Wow. Yeah, so kind of some cool shit that an old corporal, an old like senior enlisted guy showed me when I was there. Cleaning, sweeping, doing whatever. So it's a secure building with bars, and they bring it. For me, it's usually the interviews are like 4 hours. For mine, it was fucking 4 days, 8 hours. Dude, they fucking grilled me.
How long? Like 12 hours?
Screaming at me, bro. 8. So screaming at me, 6 to 8. What the fuck are you doing here, man? You're full of shit. They did it on Thursday, Friday. Then I waited the weekend. Then they came back to me, and then the last day, they're like, all right, look, we're going to offer you a contract. But this is going to be hard for you because you're going to be getting told by some fucking corporal who has never done shit. He's going to be telling you how to fucking shoot.
Yeah.
You're going to have to bite your tongue here hard, and they're going to treat you like fucking shit. Yeah. Because you're going to get a lot of extra love.
You're at the bottom.
Yeah. And you're going to get extra love just to fucking who you are, and if they find out, right? Because I wasn't telling people.
What kinds of 4 days and 8 hours? So basically 5 days of
your family. Why'd you get arrested? What's this we found that you didn't tell us about? What's all that shit?
But there's so much filler time in there where they got to be asking you like.
Well, they would leave the room and fucking let me sit in there for a fucking hour and a half and come back and pull up pictures, and they have the whole teams working up. So they pull up pictures. I have no fucking idea where they got them from.
So they're finding all kinds
they were digging hard.
Intel thing.
Yeah, they have a whole intel department going up, looking up stuff, and so that was the whole thing. They're like, you said you've never done drugs. This is hilarious. Actually.
Oh, you told them that?
Of course I did. You got to tell them, because if you tell you drugs, it's a problem. But I have no drug convictions. I have drug charges, but they went, which is what I told the United States military too. I told them I hadn't done any drugs ever.
Charged.
And they're like, you have 4 drug charges. I go, wrong place, wrong time. 4 times.
You're like brushing the Adderall off your pocket.
They can't prove anything. So I said the same thing to them. They go, well, what's this? Dead serious, bro. There's a picture. I don't know what, it wasn't posted. I didn't have social media or nothing. They pulled a picture up of me in a room with like bags of weed from the marijuana days.
Never seen that picture in my life.
They go, who's this? And I go, is that you? I go, never seen that guy. No. They're like,
I did not have sex with that woman.
Just stone face. They're like, okay, whatever, dude. They're like, I'm like, never touched the stuff, never smoked it.
Oh my God.
So it was just fucking those times. So there was those moments, but they were like, look, man, you're gonna have to eat some humble pie here. And I had to they shoved that whole humble pie down my throat because I'm going to selection. It felt so good though, bro, because it's actually pretty epic how you sign the contract and shit. They bring you down to the museum. You're in your you're there, you're marching. It's early in the morning. The lights are silhouetting onto your shadows up on the wall. And then you're in there with every Legionnaire that's ever died in this fucking museum on a plaque, dude. It's like 30,000 fucking guys or maybe more. And you're just like, whoa, bro. There's just the officers, right? So I'm going. And then you sign your contract, bro, and you're off to boot camp. And that was boot camp. Nothing crazy, but it's a little bit more rustic. They send you to a place called out on the Spanish Pyrenees or the French Pyrenees on the Spanish border.
What's it called?
It's it's technically 4e Ray, which is their 4th regiment.
Let's try it.
Yeah, so you could say the farm. It's called the farm.
The farm French Legion.
Yeah, the farm French Legion. They'll show you, and it's fucking. We froze our nuts off, bro. I've fucking been cold before,
But did you think this was going to be easy?
No, I didn't think it was
going to
be easy. No, I didn't. I didn't know what I was walking into. It was a different kind of pain though, because it wasn't like you couldn't escape it. There wasn't like going back to your room later. There wasn't like you knew it was going to be over. I knew this was going to last forever, for like years, man.
Interesting. We're just pulling up the images here. So
they got one of my YouTubes up there.
Which one should we click?
Any of those, bro.
That top one, is that like outside?
Yeah, it's like that. Like that's what it kind of looks like. You're out at the farm. It's tough to see there because it's literally just a farm out in the fucking. That's them graduating with their white keppies.
Where's the farmhouse you stay in? Is it up on the hill?
There's 4 of them. That's probably one down there. It's just like a regular farmhouse, bro. But you're sleeping on cots, and we were there in the winter, so I was like dealing with that emotional, psychological piece of like, fucking, where am I? Well, I'm like, I lost my life, man. I'm here doing shoot and move drills with dudes who've never been in the military before in French. I'm fucking learning a FAMAS, FAMAS is fine, but I had a weapon in my hand again. I felt fucking good. I'm like, I don't care what I'm doing as long as I'm doing this piece.
How many guys are there with you?
50.
50 guys.
50. And so we had guys from Kent. Dude, some of the stories, bro, get this story. I'll give you an example of fucking just amazing individuals making their way to the Legion, dude. This kid from Kenya, and I don't know if people know, but trying to get a passport or a visa coming out of an African country is fucking almost impossible.
That doesn't surprise me.
Right? So he's trying to get in the Foreign Legion. How do you get into the Foreign Legion? Well, you need a visa. We don't need it. We just fly in and fucking go, right? You just need a passport. They need a visa. They need to get their passport or whatever. So he goes, well, they're not going to give him a visa. The only way to get a visa is if he became a super high-ranking marathon runner. So he trained for 2 years to get into a race. He trained for 2 years to get in the race. He became one of the better runners in Kenya, or at least good enough to where he could get a visa and go train. He goes, finds the race that's in Europe and in France, gets to that race, gets there, lands, doesn't go to the race, and just goes to the
Legion.
Just to give you an example. I heard a guy walked from Romania, walked from fucking Romania to France, passport,
like
no passport. He didn't have a passport. So they fucking shows up at the Foreign Legion gates, no passport, and they're like, what the fuck are you doing here without a passport? He goes, hey, I walked from fucking Romania.
What did he do? Like walk through the Alps or some shit?
Dude, he just walked and probably hitchhiked and fucking did whatever he had to do.
Oh my God.
And so they go, the guy's smart enough to make it through fucking, they let him in.
Made it through a border.
They made him in.
Through the Legionnaires.
So you have a handful of Mongolians. I'll give you the kind of the rundown.
Oh, you had Mongolians.
Handful of Mongolians they're solid dudes. Handful of Mongolians, a couple Thai guys, a lot of Nepalese, a lot of Brazilians, a lot of fucking handful of guys from Africa. You have like 1 or 2 French guys, and they have to kind of give away, and their new identity is Canadian. Just to give you an example of because you can't be French really and join and keep your French citizenship.
So they fake it.
So they don't fake it. The Legion fakes it for them.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so that's the piece that is that, and a lot of Ukrainians, a lot of Romanians. That's the flow. Some Moldovians, some fucking. So it really opened up my scope.
Why is that, you think?
Economic opportunity. Economic opportunity, and they want the passport, right? So when Ukraine kicked off, we had like 10% of the Legion fucking left. You know, it was like a whole thing. Yeah. So it was a whole thing. A lot of the boys are still there. So it was boot camp, running a fuck ton. I mean, the Legion runs, they're renowned for running, and I was getting my fucking dick smashed in, bro, because they're yelling at me, oh, fucking Navy SEAL. They'd find out, and they'd be like, bro, I was so beat up and just getting yelled at for miles and miles and miles and miles in these fucking thing in the cold. And I'm like, fuck it, dude, whatever. I earned it. I'm like, I earned it, bro. I just knew I was in the right place. I was getting all the extra love, all the toilets that need cleaning, I had to clean, all the shit, dude. They're like, hey, tell the Navy SEAL come clean this fucking toilet, bro. And that's what I did, bro, for years.
They probably like silently respected the fuck out of it, though, that you just did this shit. You volunteered to do this whole thing. You're in there literally cleaning the toilets and saying, all right, whatever. Like that there has to be like, you know, they're giving you shit because of who you are, but at the same time, they're like, damn, this motherfucker's a Navy SEAL. He's here doing this. Like, respect.
Yeah, and they knew, okay, they're running, but then once I pulled out a gun, bro, and was shooting down, they were like, God damn, bro, like, you can't fake thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of rounds being thrown down, right? So, like, they knew when I could shoot, dude, and I could run and communicate, like, I can get down on the tactical movements. It was, I said this, it was a baptism in humility, bro. It was the fucking baptism in humility. It took me years to kind of build back up my fucking just flow to really just shed some of that old identity, shed some of that old ego, get clear. But I was get through selection, make it through all the bullshit, learn French, all this stuff. I picked the Mountain Regiment because I was kind of directed to, there's 2 commando units. There's a group commando parachutiste, parachute commando group, and group commando mountain commando group.
How long was the boot camp, by the way?
4 months.
4 months.
So 4 months, and I was directed to GCM. I was like, okay, GCM, let's try this. Try out for the commando unit. You got to be invited. So it was going to take a couple of years.
Do you have any contact with the outside world during this?
So
like family,
you're
anything?
cut. They take your cell phone. They take your fucking SIM cards, all your shit. So you have to fully reset when you get there. They'll give you your phone back when you finish, and your bag's back and stuff, but you have to get a new SIM card and stuff. So after the 4 months, you get your phone back, and you can start kind of coming back too. It was the Mountain Regiment was fucking isolated. It's the most isolated regiment, but it was also the most deployed. So that's why I picked it, and that's why I was directed there. The ambiance is a little better. The atmosphere, command climate's a little more chill. So that's why that Legion leadership, when I was actually in the headquarter regiment, they said, hey, this is where you probably should pick. So that's where I went, man. And I'm thinking, Mountain Regiment, dude, okay, well, mountains, okay. I had thought maybe I wanted to go to the jungle and pick the jungle shit, but I was like, it wasn't even possible. It was closed. I was like, fuck, I'm probably not going to get to go to the jungle. Sure enough, we get there, fucking 11 months. I'm just checked in. I'm a new guy, and they go, hey, your combat company is going to fucking jungle deployment.
To South America.
Where in South America? French Guiana, Guiana Francais. A lot of people don't know. France is territory in South America.
They do?
Yep, bro.
Guiana Francais?
Guiana Francais. It's right next to Suriname. Suriname is the Dutch. Suriname is owned by like Holland.
So, yeah, Suriname front. Let's help Murph here.
So look up French. Guiana. Guiana.
South America. All right, hit maps.
I probably even spelled that wrong, but you'll see it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let's.
So
hit that
it's just next to Brazil and Suriname. See, there it is.
All right. Let's zoom out on that. How big is that?
It's like one of the smaller ones, but it's not teeny.
Yeah, that looks like a nice
Guyana?
chunk of land.
Dude, that's all the oil going off there now. How much gold down there? It's like the fucking Wild West, bro. And I figured out.
Oh no. So wait, this is the still top tip of the Amazon.
They speak French. They speak they use the euro.
Wow.
Yeah, bro. I didn't know that either before going down there.
So this is the Amazon jungle, though.
We were fucking out there, bro. It is Amazon jungle, bro.
I was just down there with my buddy Paul Rosley.
That's why I was amazed to hear that when you were down there. It is people who don't know it, but the Amazon jungle is no joke.
It's no joke.
It is real deal, Holyfield. And
now, what was the mission to go there?
Interdiction of illegal gold mining and drugs, presence patrols, and also some protection of the legal gold mining activities down there. So
there's a French government there?
French government is there. It's France, bro. It's fucking France. It's the furthest part away from Europe. It's Europe, bro. Like technically.
In 2024, these things, it blows my mind.
People
this
don't even know.
Exists.
And so there's a lot of American money going down there now because they just discovered oil off the coast. So it's billions of dollars flooding down.
Oil there.
Yeah, billions are starting to flood down there now. I'll get some of my Washington contacts are hitting me up about it. So they're like, hey, we got tons of this going on. I go,
we need some intel.
So yeah, so they're building bridges, they're building a lot of infrastructure because it was interesting because we went down there and COVID was kicking off. COVID was kicking off. Funny, I never fucking saw a mask down there not one time, and everybody was fine. It's a trip, dude. So we would, even though COVID, what the fuck? It's the last thing you're worried about, bro.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So we would, flew into the capital, Cayenne, and flew into the capital. Then took a little with our combat company, like 80 Legionnaires. And why we got sent down there, because technically our guys are demolition specialists. Technically it's like technically it's an engineering thing, but we're mountain specialty, but do know how to do demolition. So we're going to blow the fuck out all these gold mines, man. And so we went down there and linked up with the Marine unit down there. Is a Troisième Rima, 3rd Rima. It's like the 3rd Marine Regiment down there. And we took a bus to a smaller base, and then took that from that smaller base, took an 8-hour fucking little boat ride into the jungle doing on an outpost. And
I know what that's like.
So yeah, so you know how it is, pushing the things and all the, you're going over the rocks and all the bullshit. And that was where we stayed, man, for months so we would chill there, and kind of watch the traffic of the boats, 24-hour security all the time, handful of dudes, one section. So we had 12 or 13 guys, 13 Legionnaires, and then we do mini ops, 2 days, some 14-day jungle patrols, sleeping in the jungle, sleeping in hammocks.
Now we're like with tents,
humping water. No, just hammocks.
Just hammocks.
Humping hammocks.
That's savage.
Yeah, humping hammocks.
No
Dude,
mosquito
I got some
nets?
crazy picture. We would do the, you'd have to, you put some. The hammock is enclosed with the mosquito netting attached to it.
Okay, all right, so you have that.
But I mean, we're just drinking out of river water with chlorine tablets, because you can't carry enough water.
Yeah.
So we're just 14-day job. I was packing cans of tuna, bro, so I didn't lose those gains, bro. I was carrying so much extra. They're like, this American motherfucker. They're like, dude, did you hump protein powder in here? I did, dude. Fucking straight up. I don't give a fuck, bro. I was humping protein powder, and they would give me the extra left. So I was humping a chainsaw. I'm humping a fama. I'm humping a,
You're humping a chainsaw.
Yeah, dude. So because we had to bring chainsaws. All
they
this
didn't
other
give
shit.
you machetes, baptism of fire, the
dude.
Amazon. Come on now.
Everyone's got a machete. But dude, when we were taking over these gold mines, we're cutting down logs. Also, there's shit that's blocking shit. We had to bring demolition, had to bring sledgehammers, all that shit. So we're humping that shit too.
And people also don't think about this, but like, people think about like forests in America and shit where there's nice little trails to walk on and stuff. Malaka, you are cutting through the jungle,
hacking
in a lot of this shit just to like get 2 feet in front of you, and it is bush, man. It is thick. It is life if you've ever seen it. And then some people carve some trails, but like where you're going, these are ops, man. Like you're trying to take down some dangerous motherfuckers. You're going through dangerous parts of the jungle just to get to them.
Where people don't want you. The French call it l'enfer vert.
L'enfer vert?
Green hell.
Oh, yeah.
That's what the French call it. Because, at night, they would have all the... And so, dude, we were hacking, and we would do 14-day ops and hit a fucking gold mine spot every day. That's how many we'd have.
Murph, can you pull up, type in Amazon gold mine drone shot? I want people to see this.
Understand the capacity.
Because not just even the capacity, but like the destruction.
Just rips it apart. And they're using, bro, Mercury Lakes. They were having me dive in and... hey, Navy SEAL, come get the engines out of the Mercury Lake. Dead serious. I was swimming at the bottom of these lakes, bro, dragging up pipes.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I glow in the dark now, dude.
Hit that one right there. The fourth one right there. Yeah, I want people to see this real quick. So, that's a video? Mm-hmm. All right, well, you can kind of see it. It's got the stamp on it, but look at... This is all supposed to be canopy. This is supposed to be 125, 150-foot canopy, and it's just dredged out. And Paul Rosley, I've had him in here 3 times, well, twice, but the second time was 2 episodes because it was like 6 hours. But episode 124, the first time he was in here, he laid out all the mercury stuff.
It's crazy,
and what it
bro.
does to the environment around it. It is, I think that was like 27 minutes in or something like that. It was fucking crazy. So people go listen to that. But you were down hunting these guys, and you're going in there to basically like set the bomb so they can't get back in the mine itself.
Well, we'd surprise them, run up on them, and they're fucking scattering. A lot of them have their wives and kids and shit too mixed in. We'd come across whorehouses, karaoke fucking bars and shit they're building into these fucking places. Bro, I'm like, what the fuck is going on out here? Grandmas. And we would come in, they'd run off. All right, but dude, you can't arrest these people. What the fuck? Where are you going to take them? You're going to march with them for 14 days, right?
Are you in uniform?
Yeah. So I'm in jungle uniform, right?
Okay, I was going to say you're not in like the big hat.
No, I'm in jungle. We're in soaking wet too, dude. Like jungle uniform, and they run off. Then we just fucking burn everything, bro. Just like old school fucking scorched earth. We'd come in and just burn all their fucking houses down and shit. Eat all their food, burn all their fucking shit down.
Oh, you like the first part?
No, dude, we just crushed their. I'm like, oh, he's got Doritos, bro. They'd hump, but dude, ingenious what they would do. We'd burn everything down and then just fucking put it in a pile, burn it, blow up things we do. Take the sledgehammers, break all their fucking diesel engines up. Hey, Navy SEAL, go in the Mercury Lake and pull out the diesel engines. I'd fucking dive into that shit, dude. Dead serious. Pulling it out, fucking tubes, all the shit, break all that shit, and then move on to the next one.
Whoa. How long were you doing this?
3 months. So we did that part for 3 months. We were down there for 4.
Ballpark, how much mileage do you think you guys covered?
So in that 14 days, we did 100 kilometers.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so about 50 in, 50 out-ish, 110.
Now, this whole industry, like a lot of this is funded from China and foreign countries, and then they're wrecking this shit, and then the USA is buying the stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, and now, and it's a circle of life, but also this is a French territory.
Yeah.
Right? Like they actually have diplomatic ties, unlike, unfortunately, some of these other countries that are like left with their dick in their hands.
Yeah.
But like, this is still happening on their soil.
Yeah. And dude, we went to some legal operations, and how they get the machines in there is incredible. So just to give people an idea of some numbers here, I asked them what they're doing money wise. Like, I'm curious. Well, I want to get down to the brass tacks here. What's the black and red? So this little like 10 guy operation they're running with, they had some larger equipment and stuff like that. And mind you, these guys, they would get the gold and stuff. And then one guy on a fucking motorcycle with a guy in the back with a shotgun with a backpack with the gold, dude, fucking riding out because they're getting shot at and shit. Let's go. They're like, who's pulling the short straw this week to take the gold back? So that was going up. So I was like, hey, what's going on numbers wise? After they got it up and running, that 10 guy operation, just in that week, every week they do like 700,000 euro. Right.
Oh, that'll do.
A week of 10 guy operation, right?
That's
legal.
pretty good.
Now that's legal. So not bad. Not bad. I don't know what their costs are or whatever, but that's what they're doing like gross as far as gold is concerned, money wise. I don't know how true is that or what the fucking what it was. That's the number he told me. So
you get any souvenirs?
All right. So man, dude, but we went and blew up one on the islands. There's like a patch of islands. I didn't even know this was internal, but inside there's like this big watered area and there's thousands of little teeny islands. And there's illegal gold mining happening on a lot of these. We went down there and I'm like, this is my first stop down there. We blew the fuck out of this, thousands of kilos of demolition. It was like this whole mountain. And to give you a thing, I had in the sand, just on the sand, dude, I would dig in, just gold in your fucking hand, dude. Just everywhere.
You put some in your pocket?
Well, it was, not enough to like think, but dude, it was like, oh, this shit's just like laying on the ground.
Yeah.
Right, it was so I go, oh, now I know why France is fucking sending us down here. It was a good experience, very powerful, but even the Foreign Legion down there, bro, you're still in the Foreign Legion. Strict as shit. They would have us marching in the fucking jungle if we fucked up. You're still singing and doing all the bullshit.
You're singing.
The super. If you don't, they're very strict. The Foreign Legion's like the Marines times whatever. As far as like, and I understand they got to put guys down under the thumb. You got all these guys checkered backgrounds coming in, and they got to fucking. If you walk across the grass wrong in the Foreign Legion, they're gonna put you in jail. Foreign Legion has their own little jail on every regiment.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are
And
you speaking French pretty good at this point?
everything's in French. So,
Yeah.
so all
Like out in the
military
field.
orders, it's everything. If they hear you speaking English, it's a fucking problem. Right.
So you're
also
pretty
a lot,
fluent now.
Oui,
At
c'est ça.
this point.
Oui.
Well, no,
my
but
accent's
at that
yeah,
point
my
you were.
accent's dog shit. But yeah, I could always flow. My French is still not great, still not good, but I can understand it and I can speak it and I can get by. I do whatever I got to do.
Thank you for watching the video, guys. If you haven't already subscribed, please smash that subscribe button and check out this clip's full podcast episode by clicking here or in the description below.